This is a clone of our enemy, a perfect replica, down to the last transistor.
Greetings, Transformers fans. Welcome to another Transformers review. If you're getting a little bit of deja vu, there's a good reason for that. I have taken a look at this particular toy on this channel before in the Transformers G1 Optimus Prime, the Ultimate Hero review. And that was kind of a combination of a toy review and a character review as well. And that's a series I would like to continue on this channel very soon, hopefully. So there are some other Ultimate Heroes. Optimus Prime is one of the Ultimate Heroes. And definitely guys like He-Man, Lion-O, Brave Star, other heroes worthy of the title Ultimate Hero. So I'd like to do more videos like that Optimus Prime video talking about the first incarnation of the heroic toy, as well as what made him so heroic and inspiring and memorable. This is the G1 reissue Optimus Prime that came out a while back. I believe it was a Walmart exclusive. So today's video is just basically going to be comparison city. I'm going to be comparing him to the original G1 Optimus Prime as well as some of the other reissues. The reissue that they did, this one, came in a G1 box, which was fantastic. And there were 11 original Autobot cars, which came in boxes like this. And Optimus Prime, I guess, was the 12th Autobot car class. And he came in a much larger box with the trailer. So if you've ever if you're lucky enough to have the original boxes of the G1 cars, the 84 ArcBots, or KO reissues like this nice one, and you've got 11 of them, that's an odd number. Now you can actually add this, if you want to keep them boxed, reissue Optimus Prime with those other 11. So you got a dozen, you got a nice even number, and it is really cool to see Optimus Prime in a box like this. Before they reissued him, I actually wanted to do a custom box, and I was looking around for custom boxes where you could just put the cab in the box like this for this reason. I think it would be cool. I don't know if I would keep it displayed like that, but I definitely want to just get a picture of a wall of these boxes, a dozen of them, with Optimus in there with them. So I think it's really cool that they put him in a little bit of unfinished business box, maybe just for me, maybe not for a lot of people, but I always thought that would be cool. The missing trailer is a drag. I'll tell you what the biggest drag about this thing was. It's the lack of the trailer and the price. Combination of no trailer, but they charged you as if they did have a trailer in there. The original price they were charging for this was, well, if I may use some really harsh language, disappointing. Luckily, it plummeted. The price plummeted. I was able to find this on clearance not too long after. So Plastic found a way. I wasn't going to pay that full price, no way, but it ended up, they slashed the price. And I thought, well, you know, just for the sake of doing a video, I've got quite a few Optimus Primes, original and reissues, but for having the box also resealable, you can put them back in the clamshell. And just to do a video like this to maybe inform some other Transformers fans who are interested in getting this, and to see if it's worth the money, worth the space on the shelf. So the box features the same artwork that was on the original Optimus Prime box, which is back there. And it's got the old Hasbro logo on it. It's got the same type of... It's very similar in design to the original G1 Autobot car boxes. You see it transforming. They've done a great job of recreating the look of it. And then on the back of the box, yep, you've got the original box art that the 84 Transformers had. This is a Canadian version. So there is La France back on there as well. Tech specs. If you've got a tech spec decoder or that Fortress Maximus sword, Master Sword by Heisenberg, you can use that to decode. And yeah, they do have robot points. They're new robot points, though. Nothing will ever replace those original robot points. All right, let's crack this box open. And this is always a tricky part. This one actually opened up nice. Sometimes when there's this cut in them, they can bend and get messed up a little bit. But really like the use of a clamshell. The original Transformers didn't have a clamshell. You actually had to tear them open, which has been unfortunately faithfully recreated here on this KO reissue. It's glued. The bubble is glued, and so that's too bad. And here's the Optimus Prime reissue. And there's something a little bit magical every time I pull a brand new Optimus Prime out of packaging. He is held securely in place. I'm just gonna give these a little snip. And here's the truck. He's got a couple of guns too. I'll cover those in a second. And here's a very important part, that even if you have your original Optimus Prime, you might have lost the fists along the way. So it's really nice to have some fresh, brand new, hopefully proper fitting fists. We'll see about that in a minute. The rifles that are included are one of each version. This is the original version that was released, with the original Takara Optimus Prime. And then the first wave Optimus Prime in North America, the one that came with a gray roller. So this is often called the bloated rifle, which also had bloated fists. These are not bloated fists. These are fists from the second release, but with the addition of this little lip on top, this extra part, which makes it much easier, much more secure for the gun to be held. And then the second version of the rifle, this is the one that came with the Optimus that I got back in the day. And it's just same type of thing, just a little more, less bloated, a little more streamlined. But really cool bonus that they included both of those, so you can pick your preference, or you can have Prime dispense some tube blaster justice. We've got some paperwork and stickers here as well. I feel like I've applied many of these on many Primes. There's his feet stickers right there. Those go on his legs. Those are forearm stickers. Nice and shiny, very chromy, very nice. And instructions, hey, these are not like the originals. This is a much more kind of not glossy instruction booklet, and I don't think it's recreated from the original instructions either. Definitely more of like a newspaper feeling print, so that there's no nostalgia there. But if you don't know how to transform Prime, then there you go. And a little 360 of the reissue Optimus Prime in his truck mode, and it is nice to have a brand spanking new, clean, shiny, scratch-free, perfect chrome Optimus Prime. Really looks very nice. In terms of feel, I know with some of the mini bots, the plastic, you can definitely kind of feel a difference, kind of a more waxy light. It's very subtle, but if you've futzed around with something your entire life, you just kind of pick up on it. Just playing around with this Optimus Prime, first impressions, it feels pretty good. I can see how when people are saying the plastic is a little more waxy, you can even see it in here. Like there's some kind of, it's not scratching, but we see this kind of, I don't know what you would call it. But it's fitting together pretty well, and the important thing is if you have a trailer from G1 Optimus Prime, as long as this hole fits on this trailer hitch, I mean, it would be a real shame if they didn't fit. But it fit perfect. Yeah, there's no problem with it, so there's hopefully one day soon we'll get a a proper full reissue of Optimus Prime, but there's Prime with a New Year Convoy trailer, which is well, it's a fairly close match, but the purple used on New Year Convoy, his trailer, is definitely more purple. This one is a little bit more blue. I'll get into more of the color comparisons when I do the robot mode in just a second, but before I do, I also wanted to show this feature off. Hey, that is fantastic. Sometimes on the older primes, that gets very, very loose. Loses its kind of spring. It should almost spring open and spring shut. You can take his fists, even with the little elongation on here. You can still pop his fists in there, close it up, and since the North American Prime didn't come with little Diaclone drivers, it's pretty cool to have something in there. His fists are his passengers. So now, going to transform him. Probably the millionth time I've transformed a G1 Optimus Prime. I can probably do it with my eyes closed, but man, I just noticed how tight these feet are. That's, wow. I'm so used to these being loose and requiring barely any force that is really tight. Now, good brother Joseph has one of these, and he said after a while, after a couple transforms, it got really loose. And I've heard these legs, see, they're supposed to ratchet like that. So they're supposed to kind of bounce like that, spring. And I've heard people say, yeah, that gets really loose after a while. Mine that I still have from 1985 still works perfectly. And so that's a shame that some of them, most of them, I don't know. We'll find out if this one does it over time. That's happening with some of them. That we're not getting creaking in the feet anymore. I guess that was just the initial transform, but that is still super tight, which is nice. You don't want the feet dangling. Just makes them sturdier to stand. And everything is fitting together really nicely, by the way. The KO version comes with an awesome reissue or reproduction of the original box in styrofoam, but it doesn't fit together right. Like this cab does not stay together, just kind of permanently like that on the KO version. So that's a really good example of you get what you pay for. But this one is nice and snug, staying in there quite nicely. That's good to see. Swing those out. That feels pretty. Oh, that's really loose. Yeah, that's definitely different. The arms, that's really loose. Well, I guess not loose technically, but I'm grading on a curve here. I'm comparing them to every other Prime I've ever transformed, and this feels much different than most other Optimuses, Optimi, the original and the reissues. These move a lot better. These are harder to move on previous Optimus Primes. They can get stuck. They feel like you might break them as you're moving them. So that feels good, but I don't know if that's a joint that'll wear out. That's one of those joints. Let's get the fists out and then flip the head. Transformers.
Robots in disguise.
Always wanted to do that. Love those commercials. We're going to pop these fists in. Let's see. The tolerances should be perfect. We got one left, one right. That's awesome. It's great when you don't get factory errors. Now, I put in a third-party axe one time into New Year Convoy, and it split. It split this wrist hole right here, right on the top. The tolerances were off. The post was too big, and that sucked. So now, whenever I put in fists or any type of third-party weapons into an Optimus Prime, I'm very careful because I didn't ever realize just how fragile those wrist posts are. No problem there, though. They're nice and snug. And wow, this guy is really cherry red. Now that I've got him in robot mode, I didn't notice as much in truck mode. But now that he's in bot mode, I'm noticing just how red he is and how blue the blues are compared to original Optimus Primes. So now we can choose which blaster we want, and with these fists, either one will fit. The problem with the original fists was that there was barely any hole to feed that into, and so it just fell out very easily, but they've remedied that. That's the one I grew up on. I've got the most nostalgia for that one, but I also love the bloated one. Looks fantastic. That's the one from the catalog. Listen to that. Good ratchet joints in the shoulders. So that's nice and tight going this way. Just this part is really loose. Feels pretty loose. I don't think they gave the head articulation. I customized mine, and just basically by removing a sticker here, undid a screw which allowed the head to move left and right. Later versions have posts that are actually glued in there, which prevent the head from moving left and right. Cool to see the original yellow eyes. The original Prime had yellow eyes. Some of the later reissues, customizations have had blue eyes. Oh, by the way, I didn't show off the... Hey, that looks cool. The black part is actually a little bit raised on the rub sign. Let's see how long it takes. Sometimes it can take a couple seconds. Starting to turn. It takes a while for these sometimes, but you know what works even better? Hair dryer. Oh, that's awesome. There we see it's a genuine Autobot. Awesome. And here's the main course of the review, comparisons. We're going to see how the two compare. We're going to start with the real McCoy, the real deal, the first version of Optimus Prime from 1984. And now on camera, they're going to look pretty similar. To the eye, this is brighter. It's definitely cleaner, in case people are wondering. I've got these little customizations all over the place, and I get a lot of people asking, where'd you get that? And how'd you do that? That's from the Jangar. Jangar, where are you? One of the original Transformers third-party upgrade makers. He made this awesome backpack for G1 Optimus Prime. Just plugs in there, looks fantastic. I know there's other third-party like jetpacks. I love this one because it looks just like on the cartoon. And I guess that's a rare item these days, but I would love if someone could cast this or even just make a new one from scratch. This concept, awesome backpack. Anyway, to the eye, this is brighter, and it's not just because it's cleaner. I think in 30 or 40 years, this will still look brighter. This is just a tad darker shade of red used on the original one. And then as far as the feet go, it's just like New Year Convoy. I think the colors are going to be very similar to New Year Convoy. And these, I always got to be very careful with these legs because I don't want to break this very, very old Optimus Prime that's still unbroken. You can see how careful I'm being with all his joints here. Definitely more purple in the plastic and the legs. And on the new one, it's die-cast feet, just like on the original one. So that's nice. I didn't mention in truck mode, long smokestacks. That's a huge one because most of the North American reissues that they've done in the past 20 years have had the shortened smokestacks, which suck. So great to see the elongated original smokestacks again. Yeah, the colors are very, very close. The heads are very, very similar too. They didn't add any extra paint details, any extra sculpts. This is it's a true to the original Optimus Prime, just ever so slightly different. I don't know if you can actually feel the difference in plastic quality, if that's a thing. This definitely feels, I mean, all the vintage Hasbro plastic feels top-notch, high quality in Transformers and G.I. Joe. This does feel a little more waxy, more modern, more cost-cutting. And it doesn't have the gloss. I think that's another thing. I don't know if that'll really show up on camera as well as to the eye, but this is a brand new toy right here out of the box, and the chrome is fantastic and shiny. This is a very old, like how old is he now? 1985 was when this was made. It originally came out in 84, but I got the 85 re-release. Still glossy, even as old and played with as this guy is. I put them side by side. This is why I wanted to do this comparison. And to the eye, like here in person, I can tell you that this plastic has more of a gloss on it, and it just looks like a better plastic quality. So that's a comparison with the original Transformers Optimus Prime. I gotta show off that original Matrix I made with plasticine and a paper clip and a little jewel from some trinket. So that's the original Optimus Prime, and a couple of other comparisons for you. Here is New Year Convoy, another awesome, my favorite Transformers reissue. And now that I've taken a look at this reissue Optimus Prime, I can still say this is my favorite reissue Optimus Prime. They gave him the cool blue windshield, the blue eyes, the original coloring. So this New Year Convoy has the purpley blue color that the original one had. This one, the G1 Walmart reissue, definitely more blue than purpley blue. If you wanted an anime cartoon version of Optimus Prime, I think this guy is a lot more suitable for that than that reissue that they did. Was it 20th Anniversary Prime or 25th Anniversary Prime? Whichever one was the one with like the dull gray trailer and the really dull red. They gave him really dull red parts, and that was a reissue I passed on. I just saw it in the box through the window and I went, no, I don't know what they've done to the colors. No thanks. So I do like how bright the red is. It really pops. It's very nice. Whereas this one is more of a deeper, more subdued red. This is more like a hot rod red. You'd see that on Iron Man or Sideswipe or something. So there's a comparison between those two, and that's why I prefer the blue windshield. Even if you don't have something covering up the back, like a Jangar backpack, that just looks like a big empty hole in his chest, having the clear plastic. Original one had clear plastic also, but man, that's just empty when it's clear like that. Now I'm wondering if you have some kind of third-party backpack. Let's try the Jangar's old backpack, if it'll fit. It fits a little more snug. Actually, it fits even better than it does on my original Optimus Prime. What a difference that makes. Even with nothing in there, no matrix in there, just not being able to see light through the chest makes a big difference. Let's wiggle this off ever so slightly. And it looks like he does have the little hole on here that New Year Convoy had. And I don't believe the original one had that. Let's pull the original one out again. Nope, the original one did not have that hole. And what's the hole for? This thing right here. This is iPod music label Convoy. Optimus Prime, yet another reissue. Blue windshield, not quite as deep blue. I don't want this to turn into a comparison between these guys, but the backpack was from a third-party add-on, and it has this little tab that plugs into this hole right here. So if you have this backpack, you can plug this top tab into here, plug this bottom tab into there. It can sometimes be a little bit of a tight fit, and I have added a stress mark to one of the tabs on my Primes by trying to fit this on here. So you know what? I'm not going to force that on there. It doesn't feel like it's just slipping in there. It looks like you do have to apply a little bit of pressure to get it to fit in there. And I'm not gonna. So this one fits on a lot easier. I'll just do that. This is the culprit right here. This axe that came with one of the Takara reissue Transformers just split this guy right here actually. That wrist right there, you can see it's the top of it is split. But the color is even more dull, more muted on this Optimus Prime. He's quite drab red compared to the new reissue Prime. That's probably going to show up the best on camera, but in person, it's very clear which one is the brighter red. And then once again for the music label Optimus or Convoy, they went with the purpley blue. So there are a couple of Optimus Primes. And how does the new guy stack up to the original and a couple of the other really high quality, high end reissues? I think he's great. Yeah, he feels fantastic. He didn't break in this review. Everything is moving properly. That's wild, just how smooth that is. I'm not used to that at all. I'm used to this, the ratcheting, applying pressure, pushing that in, and pressure there. Just listen to that. That one is pretty loose on there, but here's my original Optimus Prime, and trying to move these forearms is like, that's not even moving anymore. There we go. I don't want to force that too much. So to have a brand new Optimus, perfect condition, mint condition, nice and clean, and also no danger. It doesn't feel like I'm going to break him. I feel like you could give this to your kid if you've got one, or a nephew or a niece, and not really worry about them busting it. It almost feels like they've taken some of the stiff, scary parts of the original one and improved them a little bit for maybe some kids who aren't as careful. Because this is a fragile toy, and they don't make them like this anymore for a reason. But it's great, fantastic. As long as you got them for the sale price, I should specify. The original asking price, no. I stand by that even now after I've handled them, taken a closer look at them. No, absolutely not. That original asking price was way too high. It was, they've gotten a lot better with the G1 reissue prices. Like Blaster was really, really affordable. I saw him on the shelves not too long ago, and I thought, wow, that's half of what I expected them to be charging based on what they charge for Prime, and then even Soundwave and the tapes. So that original price was not cool, but the clearance price was fantastic, and what he should have been charged right from the beginning based on not having a trailer with him. Hope we get another reissue with a trailer. I guess for the people who dropped the money on this one, maybe make the truck a little bit different so that they don't have... I mean, it's cool to have a Prime and Truck mode and then a Prime and Robot mode to display beside it, like in the old catalogs. But I think for the people who drop the money, especially the full price, full original asking price, I think it'd be cool to change up that truck version of Optimus Prime just a little bit. I don't know what you could do with him at this point other than maybe give him that blue windshield, maybe give him some sort of custom backpack. The old Jangar backpack, or a jetpack, or how about some of the add-ons that the Takara reissues have had, like this awesome energy axe, stuff like that. You've got to sweeten the pot a little bit, but especially for the body of Optimus Prime. Hey, here's an idea. I don't know how many people like this, but what about the Hate Plague Prime with the trailer? Now that might get a little bit weird, because then people would ask, why isn't the trailer, the same color that the Hate Plague Silver Optimus Prime is? I don't know, I'm just throwing ideas out there. So that's a look at G1 reissue Optimus Prime. Look at that, you can see other primes through this Prime. G1 Prime without trailer, without roller, kind of a bare bones Prime without a bare bones price. And if you were on the fence whether you should get this Prime or not, if you've got an old, well-loved, well-used Optimus Prime, and you're debating, is the new one worth it? No, it's not worth it unless you can get a great deal on it. And I've peeked in on eBay from time to time, seen these pop up, and they show up on eBay for a really great price too. So you can get that clearance price. The trouble is the shipping. Then you're ending up kind of almost paying that original crazy price when you throw shipping in there. Also forgot to mention the tires look like they're like the original tires, Desert Dog tires. It looks like the detail on the text is a little bit sharper on the original tires. but it's still on there. That's cool that they didn't even change that. We've got original Desert Dog rubber tires. I don't know if they're quite rubber. I don't know if these are quite rubber anymore either. These are ancient. I better not squeeze them. They feel pretty dry, like they might break and crumble if I squeeze them too hard. But yeah, that's nice. It's great that they didn't change them to plastic tires. But there you go. Reissue Optimus Prime. Not bad, especially if you haven't had one for a long, long time. Still cheaper than buying an original mint one. Thanks as always to the Patreon tribe. If you'd like to join and have access to lots of bonus features like sneak peek pics and roundtable invites and Patreon exclusive videos, we're up to 120 Patreon exclusive videos now. All sorts of extra reviews, roundtable discussions, behind the scenes info. Ever wonder why the likes and dislikes are disabled on this channel? Well, that's Patreon exclusive video number 1, and it's not something I can sum up in just a tweet. It's something that actually means quite a bit to me, much like this ultimate hero right here. And I discuss it in depth in that first Patreon exclusive video, and tons of other Patreon exclusive videos like the recent Fall Guy truck. I got a chuckle just thinking of Greenlight's Fall Guy truck. Head over to patreon.com/MichaelMercy to join. Thank you to the channel members as well. Feel free to leave a comment below and to join the tribe. Hit subscribe. Nerdless Day.